What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One Eye Bri, back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 12. Obviously, I'm going to give my review, so spoilers for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 12. If you're worried about spoilers, just stop watching. And I thought it was a very good episode. I liked a lot of things of the episode, setting things up for next week's episode, which should be pretty awesome. And again, another good, if not great episode of The Walking Dead Season 9. So I want to say that Lydia and Alpha talking at the beginning is kind of like, what's going on here? Is she going to give too much information away? And she didn't. Lydia did not give anything good to Alpha about Hilltop. She didn't mention the kingdom. She didn't say anything worth mentioning. She even lied a little bit, saying they don't have this, they don't have guns, nothing about trade or anything there too. So she talked about lying, and she lied to Alpha. So it's pretty interesting that Lydia is someone that we can probably trust. Alpha is probably going to see through that, and towards the end of the episode, we saw that she wanted to test Lydia, and luckily Daryl saved the day and brought the herd into the camp. The council meeting with Father Gabriel and Michonne and Sadiq and Aaron is pretty interesting because Father Gabriel was talking about the radios. I think that's going to be a big point going forward, and Michonne was clearly against it, but that's probably how they're going to get a hold of Rick at some point, maybe this season or beyond. At least that's my opinion and what I got out of it. Also, Sadiq's dialogue was very interesting. I just see that Sadiq, if you know this channel, you know the potential spoilers and rumors that are going around, and you kind of decipher what is Sadiq going to be up to, and I'm very interested to see what happens here going forward with the fair and now that Alexandria is going. Now, the part with Rosita and Father Gabriel, I can understand, especially with the pregnancy and it's kind of a new relationship. And even though everybody's giving Rosita a hard time, I kind of can understand the relationship here. Then we go back to Lydia and she finds a yo-yo. At first glance, I think it has to be an Easter egg or connection somewhere, but I just don't know what it is. If you know, let me know. Post your comments below. Henry finds the Whisperer camp somewhat easily, right? I mean, he just came across them. He's standing there, and then the Whisperer comes and he beats that guy up, and he finds Lydia right there. Lydia's like in plain sight. He's like, oh yeah, there she is, right? It's kind of interesting that he would find them so easily. Is he that good of a tracker already? I mean, I wouldn't think so, but he knocks out this Whisper, and then we finally get to see the one, the only, the one Whisper that we've all been waiting to see. We see the giant boot that looks to have a little lift on there to give Ryan Hurst a little more height above everybody. Beta, here he is, the one, the only. I'm excited to see what goes down next week with Beta and Daryl, the fight. We're gonna see it. I'm excited for next week's episode already, and it should be great. Normally you would just kill this guy, right? But they bring him in. They try to get some answers, I guess, but they don't interrogate him or anything. They're just going to kill him. Lydia punches him in the face, and it's almost like, yeah, that's too much of a give that you do care about this guy. Then we see the dialogue with Eugene and Father Gabriel, and I liked it. I liked Eugene stepping up and being like, look, I love Rosita. She loves you for some reason, and I like the idea that he gave Father Gabriel the pants for Rosita because she clearly needed them. They weren't fitting right. She was getting a little belly and her pants were getting tighter and tighter, right? But it was a nice Eugene moment. We need more of those. I kind of like Eugene. Hopefully he can turn it around and get more people liking him. And then we go back to the Whispers, and it was Alexandria and the Whispers and Alexandria and the Whispers. And I like that about the episode because in previous seasons, we just saw the Saviors and it was all the Savior stuff. And it's like, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? But Alpha and Lydia talking was kind of like, yeah, you know why I like animals? Because they don't lie. They don't lie. All right, we got it. You like animals more than people because you know what to get from them without having to be tricked on there too. And Lydia was basically lying to Alpha, and Alpha, I guess, was calling her out on it. Now, the whole apple thing was like, all right, is this a Snow White kind of vibe? I can kind of see what people were saying now because of the witch giving their apple, and then she kind of rubs her head. She's like, all right, good girl. Yeah, just that's it. Just take a bite of the apple. You're back. If you look closely at Lydia's outfit, her shirt, I had an Instagram post that shows that shirt. Is it the same shirt that Maggie was wearing previously in prior seasons? It looks spot on, right? Especially that Lydia was at Hilltop. Henry gave her clothes that might have been Maggie's. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Then we're back to Alpha and Lydia and the big Whisperer camp. it's going to be huge. There are a lot of whispers, a lot of walkers, and we got to see more of that too. And it was pretty cool to see an inside look at their camp. We got to see a little bit of that. Then we see Michonne talking with Negan, and I kind of felt bad for Negan, especially when Judith was talking to Michonne, and Judith was like, look, you changed. Negan can change too. Negan has changed. Clearly he has. He didn't have to go back to Alexandria, back in a cell, but Negan has nothing outside there for him now. I believe that Michonne is going to turn to him at some point, and this was kind of the start of that story arc. And Negan is a character that has to do something, right? He has to have some redeeming quality, some redemption arc story, because he's there for a reason, right? He's going to be needed to go against the Whispers and probably team up with Michonne and help run Alexandria. What if he eventually runs Alexandria? Would you want to see that? Would you not? And I haven't been the biggest Negan fan, but I'm a Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan, and I think he's doing a great job here. But I do feel for Negan here in season 9, and I think he's going to be needed at some point, and I can't wait to find out if it's going to be in season 9 into season 10 or in season 10, because you know the Whispers are going to be battling the survivors. Then we see Connie and Daryl, and I like them together actually, not as a romantic relationship, but as trackers. And I like the arrow with Dog biting it and bringing it back, and he broke the arrow, and it was pretty funny. And if you look closely at the walkers that come towards Connie and Daryl in the ditch, I believe one of them is naked. I don't have a picture of it, but you look back at it, you might see that. Connie and Daryl can be a team of trackers that I think could be good for the show, and I like them working together, especially towards the end of the episode when she had a mask on and so did Daryl. Pretty cool stuff. Now, Henry is getting a lot of flack. A lot of people do not like the character, but what if he's not the person that's responsible for the fair, for the Whispers, for the kingdom being attacked? Well, eventually at the fair, most likely. And I thought the camp was pretty cool. You can see the walker skins right there. And Henry's going to get a bad rap because he was giving up too information and he's just making bad decisions. He's not staying in the house. No teenage boy on the show wants to stay in the house on The Walking Dead, that's for sure. Now, it's pretty gross, Beta taking the skin off the walker, but we finally got to see how they do that. And I thought that was pretty cool, pretty gross at the same time. But we got to see the Whisperer camp, and we got to see that Beta is loyal to Alpha, and Alpha is not messing around for sure. We got to see what the Whisperers do. Alpha's civilization has fallen type of ideology, and that anyone can challenge Alpha or the Alpha at any time. And it did not work out for the boyfriend and girlfriend here, and that's what the bloody hands were. And I know some people were thinking that it may be Henry's blood, but Henry's still alive and Alpha isn't messing around. And what do you make of Lydia? What do you make of the necklace that she made from the Hilltop coin? I guess she stole that coin, right? Or did Henry give it to her? And Henry was like, yeah, that's good. She likes Hilltop and she likes me, I guess. That was her sign saying that she's on Team Hilltop. She's on Henry's side, and it's an H for Hilltop, but could it also mean Henry? And just to be clear, I know it's a Hilltop coin. That's what the H stands for, but it could be symbolic as she likes Henry. And then we get a little more backstory of Alpha. Still don't know how she met Beta, but I want to know more of that as well. But Beta is definitely loyal to Alpha, which she needs that. She's going to need Beta's help. And I don't think we're going to get the Negan Beta interaction from the comics and or the Negan Alpha interaction from the comics. So it's going to be different, which is okay. The comic is the comic and the show is the show, and we'll see what happens with Alpha and Beta. And the burlap sack contained the bodies of the Whispers that Alpha took out. Beta just kind of detained them a little bit, but Alpha did the dirty work. So Alpha doesn't mess around. She is the true Alpha of the group. The Whispers led the walkers to the bodies. Daryl and Connie saw that, and Daryl, being the resourceful person that he was, got the walker skin of this person, I guess, in the poncho. Is that a callback to his previous poncho days in season 2 and season 3? We haven't seen that poncho in a long time, but he basically got the herd to attack the Whispers, and it was pretty great. And Henry and Lydia were saved by Connie, Daryl, and Dog. And remember, Daryl is kind of responsible for Henry, as that's Carol's son. So, you know, you got to protect him a little bit. Daryl saved the day. You didn't think Lydia was going to kill Henry, right? I mean, after all that, and she likes Henry, and she picks up the knife, and I was just hoping, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was hoping, part of me was like, come on, Lydia, just swing at Alpha. Alpha's terrible. You can do it. You can take out your mom. Your mom's terrible, especially when she said, remember your father? What happened to him? And I wish he was like, yeah, you killed him. You did that. But it didn't happen that way. The Whispers had to flee. They were just putting on their masks and it was okay. Like they were just blending in with the walkers and the walkers were just going to not bite them again. It was kind of ridiculous. But, you know, that's what the Whispers have. They can blend in with the dead. And like I said at the beginning, I thought it was a good episode. It was very entertaining. I liked the back and forth. I'm glad it was not just a Whisperer Camp episode. Season 7, they kind of did that with the Saviors. It was like all there and that and all there, and they didn't go back and forth. Here we saw Alexandria and the Whisperer Camp and back to Alexandria and this, the Michonne, Negan dynamic. I liked it. And we saw RJ in his bed asleep, but no other character saw him, just Michonne this time. So the RJ conspiracy continues. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I thought the episode was very good. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, and as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.